I was born in the morning, slithered out of the cut in my mother, a thing no bigger than a bacon rind, and squalling. There was something of the nymph about you, she said later. A dragonfly lifted too soon from the lake. She watched my birth in the sheet metal ceiling. Her other self, a storm cloud brewing at dusk, a small fire far too far from the beach. When my mother unfurled her body, her arms were scrubbed tough, and she caught me. All through my life, she has rocked my reflection as we head for the uncharted deep. I had a momentary panic there when you said about reading in alphabetical order, because suddenly the whole alphabet went out of my head. Where does H come from? This, to be here is kind of amazing, and everything that I said about it not being a lottery, it very much feels like a lottery from this end of it. So yeah, I feel like I've won the lottery. So thank you, and thank you to Mary and James and Pat and James for the editing help. The pamphlet is dedicated to for the sister I never had, and a lot of the poems sort of deal with girlhood and the sort of the other self, the hidden self, the person you always compare yourself to. For me as an only child, I was comparing myself to the idea of this sister this kind of wraith-like figure hovering in the background who was always going to outshine me, even though she didn't exist. So I was never going to have a sister. There was never any possibility of it happening, but the kind of the anxious part of the brain constructs that. So this next poem is very much about that. It takes that and runs with it. It's called Peggy Wood, and after I wrote it and entitled it, I realised that there is actually apparently a Hollywood Golden Age actress called Peggy Wood. So for the avoidance of confusion, this is nothing about her whatsoever. It's about a little copse near where I live called Peggy Wood. We go in the plum-deep wells of winter nights, edged like a paring knife, chicken pox with stars. We follow the sheep trods, me tramping in my purple wellies, the sister I never had wreathed behind me like a cloud, until we come to Peggy Wood. Here, a woman in her nightdress hooked herself to a high branch, or so the big boys say, right at the centre where the sky locks shut and the trees extend like marionettes. There's an unlit fire in the brushwood, a stubble of fag butts in the soil. I come for the sucked-in breath of the dark. I come because it is the only place to come for miles where I can let my words sound out like a crunched leaf. Because my sister is a tight band around my chest, because her arms are a bulldog clip. I come because actions mean something at night. Sometimes we shelter in the small of a tree, count seconds between a thundering train and a lightning swerve of an owl. Sometimes we watch for Peggy's ghost. My sister squeezes till I can't draw breath, says, look, see how tight a person can hold. And she settles in me like fermenting leaves. Here, where the trees eat themselves and the air has a tomcat screech, she says, it's dangerous to be a girl alone at night. And I hook myself to the dark and say, I am not alone. I am never alone. Why won't you leave me alone? I mentioned there's a lot in here to do with kind of girlhood, and I mean girlhood as a distinct thing from womanhood, the kind of becoming of a girl, the way that a girl sort of becomes a woman. I don't think I mean sort of in a sexual sense, I mean a kind of formation of identity, or the accumulation of things and experiences that make us who we are and give us this sort of young girlness, which the title of the chapbook, I'm just going to say pamphlet then, the chapbook, sort of references, sort of idea of assembly instructions. So there are a couple that sort of speak to childhood. I recently, 5 years ago, it feels recent, moved back to where I grew up, 2 doors away from the house I grew up in. And so I've been revisiting a lot of the places that I used to go as a child, and that awakens obviously some memories, things that you forgot that you had, these kind of nuggets of memory. And for the first time in possibly a decade, I recently went back to the swimming pool where I used to go quite often as a child in the local town. So this poem's called 1999, and it's about that place. And I should say, because I live somewhere rural, there are a couple of towns near-ish that are both sort of 10 miles away. So there are multiple swimming options, and it was always dependent on parents' choice where they decided to take you, and you had to go along with it. In the communal changing rooms, where old women's bodies flapped and scattered droplets like pieces of crystal, we contorted ourselves behind the bright flags of towels, wished together for the other pool, the one with lockers and locked doors, where the air was jungle thick and cubicles close with damp, where once I saw your chest raised like a ripple of water. You whispered, "Look," showed me the first kindling of hair, and I had to ask, "Does it hurt?" So you said, "Feel it. See? Soft, like a bird." Though you meant only one bird, the sparrow in the old fire, battering itself bloody against the glass till your dad caught it, said, "Girls," said, "Don't be afraid," and kept it quaking between his hands for us to stroke. In the pool, my stomach is too bare, and a man with ribs like a shelf of dusty Reader's Digests watches me swim. I quite often run workshops in schools, and I once heard a poet, I think it might have been Liz Berry, say that every poet who's ever run a workshop in a school has written a poem about running a workshop in a school. I mean, Liz Berry is a teacher, certainly was a teacher, so I imagine she's got many. But I have 2, and they're both in here. So I'm going to read them. They're probably slightly different in tone. But the first one is, I don't know if this is the case in Ireland, but certainly in England, there's a real focus at the moment, particularly in primary schools, but also in secondary schools, on learning grammar and learning the names for grammatical terms. Some things that I didn't learn till I went to university, but I've been pretty much forced on young children to the extent that it sucks all the joy out of writing. And I've done a number of workshops where, children say that writing's really boring because they don't understand what an adverb is. Who cares what an adverb is? Just, you can write. So part of what I do is it's about putting the fun back into writing, much to the teacher's dismay and telling them that all that stuff doesn't matter. So this is called Teaching Grammar in a Poetry Lesson. We named words the way a god will name his creations. We named them things and describing words, and talked about how run and jump and eat were all actions. Then we marvelled at the activeness of sit and breathe and be. We said table words for the things we could touch and cloud words for the ones we couldn't, although we recognised that cloud was not a cloud word but a table word, and one boy described walking up Scarfell Pike last winter with his dad and the cold breath of water on their faces. We identified alliteration as same-letter words, then wrote sentences with a nest of snakes threaded through them. Plosives became explosives as fireworks popped on our lips. We agreed that Bridges let us cross from one part of a sentence to another, and though we did not mention a syndeton, one girl said that sometimes there were no bridges, and readers leapt from thought to thought like goats across a mountain stream. Another talked about rhythm. I did not make her say meter, and how sometimes it was in twos like walking, and sometimes triple like a runaway train. And we called metaphors cheddar moons because the moon is a wheel of yellow cheese, and did not distinguish similes, except to say that they were like cheddar moons. And a girl at the back confessed she could not understand the difference, though later she wrote that quietness was an eagle circling, her heart like a bird taking flight. I always think it's great when the students write the best 2 lines of a poem for you. The next one is also about this thing of doing workshops in schools. I thought it's very different. I recently went back to my old secondary school to run a creative writing workshop. And for the creative writing group that they now have there, which unfortunately wasn't there when I was a student, which I would have loved, but the workshop was in the school library. The wonderful librarians there, very enthusiastic about writing, who put this creative writing group in place. And they were fantastic students, but the entire time I was there, the overriding thought in my brain was, I have my first kiss in here. I find it really hard to get past that. And I sort of thought the only way to deal with this sort of dual placing is to work this into the workshop. So I didn't tell them I had my first kiss in there. I sort of drew the line at that. I didn't tell the librarian afterwards. And I went back and did another workshop there recently, and she'd actually put up a sign in the library that said no heavy petting. Which she said wasn't especially for me, but I'm not entirely sure. So this is my poem about that. And I was thinking, so whether any of the students will read it and realise that it's about their workshop, who knows? In the yellow library, where in 2004 I had my first kiss, the students are writing poems. I say, writing an animal, include an insect, make the poem crawl. I invite them to end with something that opens, to give it space. What colour is your poem? Blue, they say, or green. One said his poem contains a bird, and birds always make a poem purple. What colour was that Friday afternoon before the buses came? Some now or never shade, when never was Monday and weekends were an ocean. And I remember his mouth was a pink cavity of a conch, and the books were grey with dust and undisturbed, though I swear behind their spines they whispered. I swear they're whispering now. The boy's tongue tasted of pennies and rich tea biscuits, and there was too much of it. Our kiss was the colour of water. I say, put water into your poems. Like the sea, yes, I say, or a vase or a tap or god of spit. But miss, they say, that could be anything. And I say, yes, exactly. I want to finish on a poem. There's been a lot of talk in the last couple of days, both sort of from the podium and sort of elsewhere, kind of representing about migration and about where people come from and the places that make up where we are. So I want to finish with a poem that is about Cumbria, which is where I'm from, also where I live now. But it mentions Ireland, so I figured I kind of had to read it here. So my family come from all over, and what's known as an off-comer in Cumbria, which is kind of it's Cumbrian dialect word for an income of someone who's come from elsewhere. Even though I was born there, generationally, I'm not from there. So, my dad's from the Midlands, my mum's family's from Somerset. I've got kind of American roots, prairie roots in there as well. So this is my my hymn to Cumbria, but also to multiple identities and roots of the place. And thank you very much for listening and for creating this beautiful, beautiful way. I think I've unlocked a sort of poetry level I match completely unconsciously. Off-comer. I come from a land that was nobody's land and anybody's. I come from a war of accents and blood, from heather taking root in the bones of clans while the wind whispers the old names. I come from a land where villages are crumbled and sunk, where stories disturb the bottoms of lakes. I come from a land of drownings. I come from a land where water is ammunition hurled from the sky. My childhood was a scrapyard of animals, of death and disinfectant, of 4x4s and smoke. I come from a land where rivers unburden themselves into farms and villages, where they carpet the city in a rainbow of diesel and mud. I come from the fire and the flood. I come from a land of silent vowels, of consonants that tumble like gills down the backs of throats. I come from a land of poems, trudged across the fells like coffins. I come from a naked land, a land veined in stone, bearing itself to the wind. My land is bracken and gorse and the slow gorging of ticks. My land is height and electric skies, is water locked behind dams. I cannot hold my land. It is a voice thrown back across the valley. It speaks with a deep-throated roar of fighter planes. No, I am not of this land. My skin is a prairie, my hair and eyes an Irish feet and sky, my bones a Midlands town. But put your ear to my breast. Between my stereo heartbeats, you will hear water, the raucous gathering of clouds.